Oh, we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Philly Special Podcast. We're back with your host, Victor.
Brandon.
And today we got a lot of celebrating to do. We beat Boston. It's been a while since we talked to you guys, but we beat Boston finally. I know everybody's panicking about the last two games, but we'll get there. Howie's losing his mind because he wants to keep the running backs.
I don't know about that one. But.
Yeah, the Phillies open up tomorrow, and there's a lot of stuff to cover. So first, what do you want to cover first? Oh, we have DJ Aithoven in the booth. Shout out. Almost forgot.
Hey.
I know him in the booth working on
the one that makes it all happen.
The one that makes it all happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Appreciate you.
All right, so we want to start with first today. Sixers.
Let's talk about the Sixers right now. I mean, since it's hot right now,
it's hot.
because like Victor said, we haven't talked to you guys in a while. We did beat Boston, but then we just had two ugly losses that just shouldn't have happened. I mean, I don't know where I'm at on thought process, with those losses. I mean, I kind of just watched it happen and I was like, it's like I wasn't too disappointed, but I wasn't happy. Definitely wasn't happy with the losses either. I don't think all of us would be mad about a loss, but I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not too upset about the losses, but we'll first go back to them beating Boston and the Super Bowl that was the win over Boston Celtics. I the way we celebrated. Yeah. And Terry Rozier was all like, "Oh, I thought the confetti was going to drop. It should have dropped because it was definitely a win that we've been trying to get for a while." So when we first initially beat Boston, it felt like a weight off our shoulders. It felt like we were truly ready for the playoffs. And it feels like the Sixers are going to finally take that step. That was before these losses.
Yeah, exactly.
Before these losses. So I was like, one step forward, this is it. Because, last year the Sixers ended the season on that 16 game winning streak, whatever it was. And now we thought we were on that same path. But so I think them beating Boston was definitely, they were on a 6-game winning streak at that time with wins over Indiana, Milwaukee, and Boston. So everybody was like, this is it. The Sixers are Brett Brown figured it out, and this is just how it's going to be.
We thought, but I noticed a trend that every time we seem to, play a team that we're not supposed to beat or we're going to have a tough time beating, we beat them and then we come back to a not so great team and then we lose to them. Yeah, I don't know. That seems like a common trend to me.
Well, Atlanta's been playing a lot better the second half this year with Trae Young. Trae Young is going to be him and Luka are going to be fighting for that rookie of the year.
That's real talk though. We play up or down, depending on the talent.
We play down to the level, we play to the level of whatever the team is.
Absolutely.
So I never felt threatened by Atlanta, but then they ultimately won the game because Trae Young. I don't think Embiid guarded Trae Young to the fullest of his ability.
He did. He said it.
Yeah, he said, man,
he said, we're up there with the top tiers now, man.
We ain't gonna see you on the playoffs.
Right.
So
you can't be like that. You can't act like that in the game. You have to play. You have to give it your all every single night. I don't care who you're playing. I don't care if you're playing Utah. I don't care if you're playing Toronto. I don't care if you're playing New Orleans. I don't care. You gotta give it your all, man. Yeah.
Without Anthony Davis.
Without AD, yeah.
So I think as far as we take the wins over Milwaukee, because Milwaukee was a big one too. I don't know if we talked to everybody since the Milwaukee win, but that was equally as big as the Boston win, finally beating them. And Giannis dropped 52 on us, but Embiid had the 40-point game that we were able to. And
another career high.
Another career. Yeah, everybody has career highs against the Sixers.
All the time.
I don't know what's going on. Something has to be fixed defensively.
Did we were we able to get together since the Jimmy Butler game winner? We had a podcast since then? That win when he stared down the
we said it wasn't enough. No, not that one.
No.
That was the one before.
We didn't.
Not that one.
We was actually talking about
it was the Boston game. When Jimmy hit that ball. Well, it wasn't really a game winner, but it was the dagger. It was the dagger. Jimmy Butler. This is why we got Jimmy Butler here. I'm about to change this to the Jimmy Butler. This used to be the Philly Special Podcast, and then it went into the Ben Simmons Podcast. This is now the Jimmy Butler Podcast.
I don't agree with that. I don't co-sign.
Yeah, you're about to be hosting your own show with that.
Oh, man.
You got no engineer, nothing.
Now Jimmy Butler's been gone for Atlanta and Orlando, so I don't know what's going on with that. So how do we feel as far as take the wins of those teams into perspective and then take the Atlanta and Orlando losses into perspective? How deep do we think we're going in the playoffs?
I mean, as long as they get it together and they got to realize, look, you have to play every single team like you could possibly lose. Play to win, don't play to not lose. You know what I mean? I don't care how trash you think the other team is or how lesser of an opponent you think there is. And I know you're on your high horse because you just beat Boston, but you have to play your all. You have to play like every game is a playoff game. Like if you don't win this game 7, you're gonna go home. You have to play that every single game. That's what I want to see. You know, if we can get that together and get the consistency together, I think we'll be all right. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, well, I just think I'm not too worried about the first round of the playoffs. I think you will either play. I really don't want to see Brooklyn in the first round. That's who I would rather not see. I think we would beat them. I think they would scare us though, probably. I think we would wipe the floor with Detroit. I'm not too worried about them. That second round is where it's going to get hairy because then we would. The good thing about the Boston win is that we're not going to see them in the playoffs unless we somehow both make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Then we don't have to see Boston on the playoffs.
Which I think is a possibility.
So that almost that almost guaranteed us not seeing Boston unless Boston beats Toronto somehow, and then we beat. I think we can beat the Bucks, but I don't. If Boston beats Toronto, they're probably going to the finals because Toronto's the favorite in the East, in my opinion. So I think that's where it goes now. We how am I gonna?
I actually feel like Boston is the team we have the least chance against.
You think Boston you think Boston is the biggest threat to us? I mean,
I think so.
Yeah.
Just based off of
history.
Based off of history.
Yeah.
Not even that. I know Toronto's supposedly the tougher team, but just based off of that rivalry factor.
Yeah.
You know, you play that game with a different energy. You know, you play that game with a whole different kind of energy.
Right.
You know, so that could be the big difference maker right there.
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely agree as far as history is concerned and what they did to us last year. And you know.
Yeah, exactly. I see a repeat of that.
No, I don't that. I'm not trying to see the repeat of that. But
it's gonna be an ugly Eastern Conference Finals.
The two things that I see, the two things that are a big factor, and this is the bench scoring that you've been adamant about lately about the bench scoring as far as the lack of it in the win against I can't remember, we only scored 8 bench points against Boston out of 118 points, 110 of them were from starters, and then against I think it was the win against Milwaukee, we only had 4 bench points, I believe.
There's no way we're going to get through the playoffs.
So if that's what Sixers playoff basketball is going to look like, they might be burnt out before the second round.
Yeah, you can't win the playoffs.
Especially with the backup center position now. We can't rely on Boban. We've been through the whole backup center thing. We can't rely on Boban because he doesn't have the footwork, or his matchups. He doesn't match up well with a lot of centers, the quicker centers. Jonah Bolden commits 6 fouls per 36 minutes he's on the court, so he's never on the court long enough without getting fouled as far as being even effective. Athletic, he brings an impact, but he can't stay on the court. So we're in a situation, and Amir Johnson, we're not even going to touch Amir Johnson. So we'll leave that one alone. But
you got a bunch of no-name replaceable guys.
It's just as far like Embiid's going to have to play 40-plus minutes a game, every game, just to be effective. And we just have to hope he doesn't get into foul trouble, because if he does, then we lose the game at that point. Like that's the end of that. So I'm just trying to figure out. We need to figure out the bench, and I don't know. I don't think that's going to be solved this year.
That's what I'm saying. At this point, what can we do, really?
You can just hope that Shake Milton coach, Shake Zaire Smith, man. I don't think they're going to. Brett Brown said earlier today that they're not going to get substantial playoff minutes. So
they should try to, see. I don't know.
Right.
Give them a couple. How many games we have left?
We have 10 games left.
10 games, right? Okay. Yeah, this would be a good time to. Wait till when we have 5 games left and start giving them a couple more minutes just to see if they could be, a valuable asset to, the postseason.
So here's another thing. So we're 47-27 right now. How many games did we win last year? Was it 52? Did we win last year? Do you remember, Drew, or no?
No, I don't remember.
Okay. I think it was 52. So do you think we're going to be over or under last year's wins?
We better be over.
Yeah.
If we lose 5 of the last,
better be over.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's going to be a repeat of last year.
Yo, you know what's crazy too? Last game, obviously we missed Simmons a lot, but I think we missed James Ennis more too, than I really realized. He was the only one that was scoring off the bench.
Good piece. I think he's the most not prolific bench scorer, because him and Mike Scott can challenge.
Yeah, there's times when he's the only one scoring off the bench. Not even Mike Scott be 0 for it.
And that game, that Milwaukee game, Ennis didn't even count for bench scoring because he started that game. So 4 points he got off the bench was like Mike Scott, I think.
So I'm saying that the last game Ben was out and Ennis was out too, but that really hurt us.
Right. So I just don't understand how. And then the other thing is the lack of discipline on defense. Briefly before we went on air, we talked about how they can't defend the pick and roll. Drew said that's because they can't do the pick and roll, so the damn sure can't defend it.
You don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's that. Brett Brown is Mr. Dribble Handoff. That's why Dribble handed off to JJ. DHO. I see. And I have another name for what that stands for. I can't say it on here. DH offense.
It's our show, man.
Yeah. Say whatever you want. I saw it. It wasn't my line. So.
Dickhead offense.
Oh, he said it. Oh,
I didn't even know what it was. I just guessed it. Context clues.
So they said that offense. They said that is what Brett is running, and I can't.
Wait, who said that?
It was in the group in these groups.
What are these ones?
I was like, these people really hate on Brett Brown.
Yeah, they do.
So I am a lot more sour on Brett Brown than I was about 30 games ago.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Brett Brown, man, he gonna get together. And I'm sitting here like, all right, dude, like, you got some time now to figure this out. Now what's going on with Tobias Harris, though? All right.
I mean,
what do you mean? Like he's
in a slump, man.
He's just average right now, you know.
Yeah,
he's not the big name.
He came in here lighting it up, and now he was like, all right, man, I got it.
And that was one thing I said before too, is when you see these guys, these these stars that come off of other teams that don't really have anybody, you know what I mean? They say like I was talking about Jimmy Butler, I think it was. You know, he's on a squad where you don't really have anybody else, and then he's just a star. And they come to a team where they do have a couple other players, and he just kind of expose them a little bit, or not even expose them, and kind of puts them in the behind the bush a little bit, because now we don't really notice him as much. Yeah. You know, you start slacking a little bit. You don't have the ball as much. You can't do as much.
It's just fact. You look at this lineup, and each player averages more than 17 points a game. Like we should be.
We should.
The thing is that if we're gonna have this much lack of discipline on defense, the only way we're gonna be able to sustain this is if we just outscore our opponents. We're gonna have to get into shootouts, and we should be able to win those shootouts with the players. Golden State are the only ones that should be outscoring us to this point. Like, as far as starters are concerned, I know when the bench leaves, and then you got Mike Scott and Boban and TJ.
Yeah, but we gotta shoot, but you can't let them shoot back.
Right, exactly.
That's the thing,
and we have defensive studs on defense. Embiid and Ben, Jimmy. We shouldn't even be doing this.
This is gonna be the downfall right here. It's gonna be a shootout because we can't play defense. We're gonna be running up and down the court all game long, and we're gonna wear ourselves out quicker than possible because we don't have a bench also. All right, so we're just gonna be tired on all shoulders.
That's exactly
what's gonna happen. That's exactly how it's gonna go.
I'm not trying to get burnt out.
But I have high hopes of the Save by Sixers.
Well, we think we're gonna be alright. we think we'll be okay.
Come on, Brett.
Brett, this is your time, man. You on the hot seat. This seat has never been hotter. Microwave. Like, this is horrible. You gotta do this. Did you see Zaire Smith play the one night? His little 3-pointer. Anybody saw Zaire Smith? Yeah.
Nah, yeah, he had a nice little debut.
I think he'll be all right, man. I think he'll be itching to get to this.
That's why I said I want to see a little bit more.
I'm fine with what I saw. He's ready for playoffs. Put him in there, please. Something. You want him or Jonathan Simmons in there?
Oh no. We need defense, so yeah, we need homie, not Simmons.
Not Jonathan Simmons.
No, we need Zaire to step up. He's a better defender.
I think he's good. He has good length. He has good athleticism. I think he should be able to keep up. But they said the same thing about Markelle.
Yeah, we think.
Oh, speaking of which, so I saw a quote about Markelle Fultz last week. He was being interviewed by Orlando media, and he said, because he's about to show up and start watching games for the first time this year, like Orlando. And he said,
been doing this whole time.
I don't know what's been going on, but he said that I think it'll be good for me. I think it'll be good for me to sit and watch. I could really learn a lot from watching. What have you been doing for the last year and a half?
I've been doing that for 2 years, bro.
For the last 600
days.
He
didn't watch film either?
I don't know what he's doing. He's like, I think I can learn a lot from sitting on the bench and watching. Is the way he worded it, and I almost.
Did you watch TV?
I was upset when he got traded, but I'm glad he's not our headache anymore. Like, I came around.
TNT, ESPN?
Yeah, I don't understand. It's horrible.
His career is over. I'm gonna say it right now.
Oh, all right.
He might not even be in the league next year. I'm gonna say it right now.
Oh man,
you can't keep doing this same foolishness he doing. Like, why he ain't at the games though? Like, what's the reason for that? He could at least be there supporting them.
Speaking of former Sixers, are we gonna let it go by the wayside that MCW gave us that work the other night?
15 he on a 10-day contract.
He on that Corey Brewer
contract. Gonna be around.
Oh, Corey Brewer, still on the Kings, so he must have got signed. He's still on the Kings, like to this day, so they signed him the rest of the year. All right. I just saw that the other day.
Yeah, they need some veteran help. Some leadership in the locker room.
But so yeah, Michael Carter Williams gave us that 15 points off the bench, burning us. That's fine.
That's our loss, man.
That's why we lost.
Next.
We can bring MCW on the bench.
Landry
Sham is dropping 6 threes in a quarter. It's reckless.
He definitely gonna have his career high against us.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely will. Yeah, because who's the guy that had career high earlier in the year that nobody knew about? I forget his name. I forget what team he played for. But I know Spencer Dinwiddie had like 35 on us.
Yeah, Spencer, he loved playing us.
He like, the Sixers. Oh, I'm playing. Start me that game. Because that's how that goes. But as far as Trae Young hit the game winner on us. Up to this point, who do you think is rookie of the year as far as Luka and Trae Young? If you had to go back.
Yeah, close. That's really close. Yeah. I'm just gonna go say Trae because it's just more.
Right. I think Luka, just because based on consistency, like Trae Young is a really good second half of the season.
Yeah.
But I think Luka, he just had
I think
2 straight triple doubles. He just had.
Yeah, I think sometimes when the fan aspect is like the half the season, the second half of the season is what counts a little bit more. A little bit more stake at the end of the second half of the season.
Oh right, yeah, because then you want to prove your worth. The awards are coming, and you're like, oh man, I want to be in the running.
Yeah, that's when like everybody's a little rusty when you start the season, no matter what your position. If you're a star, if you're a rookie, But the second half of the season is when you're locked in. You already have those reps. You're already consistent on your routine and everything. So that's when you're really at your peak, or at least you should be at your peak.
Right.
Some people fall off, but
right.
Not those two. Not those two. So.
Right. And one last Sixers point I had is that I think it's baffling that Joel Embiid is nowhere in the MVP conversation. Like, I understand what Harden's doing and Giannis is doing, but you can include Embiid. He's averaging 28 and 14 for the year.
They don't
What's going on, man?
win.
Yeah. And they can't even use injuries because it's not like he's hurt all the damn time.
Yeah.
So, whatever. I was trying to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was trying to.
I'm with you.
I'm with you. So, all right. So you ready for the barbershop?
I'm ready for my sinuses to clear up.
Yeah, he's sick. His birthday's coming up, so if you hear him sniffling, that's what it is. But shout him out. It's his birthday. It's
at midnight.
Yeah, birthday. Shout him out. He's gonna leave here and probably not remember this podcast once he gets out here. So just shout him out.
We'll see, man. I got work tomorrow.
Yeah, that don't stop nobody. That doesn't stop anyway. But so it's time for the first ever set. Oh.
Work on your birthday too.
Yeah, I got it.
Yo, so my man got. I get it. So
yeah, we're not talking about.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk. The listeners will listen. If you join Patreon, we'll let you know what happened on Saturday. If you want to join Patreon,
to hear the secret story.
You want to need a secret story? $1 a month to join Patreon.
You want some juice?
We'll give you some juice on what Brand's been going through lately. You want the life? Oh, we'll let you know the life. So we got the first something new to the podcast, first ever barbershop talk segment. Barbershop.
Now? I thought we were doing it on Saturday.
No, we're doing it now. This is it. It's every show. Barbershop talk.
See, that's the thing about. All right, we'll talk about this later.
Go ahead. We'll talk about what happened this talk. So barbershop talk. Is something that has been going on. So it's like topics that you think are going to be talked about in the barbershop.
Yeah.
A lot of things. You know how barbershops are. Everybody who listens to this and goes to barbershops, there's no filters, and you know how it is. So a lot of topics that's been going through. Number one, people want to trade Zach Ertz for a running back. What is? Go ahead, Brandon. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to vent on
what?
this. I'm gonna start raging.
Listen, because I just watched you rage for a second.
Getting red over
and
here.
I was kind of didn't say anything because I don't necessarily agree with your rage. I mean, I don't necessarily.
You want to trade Zach Ertz for a running back?
I'm not saying I want to trade Zach.
Yeah, you are.
Ertz. No, I'm not saying.
I'm not
trust me. I'm not saying I want to trade Zach Ertz for a running back, but I wouldn't be mad. And it goes back to what I was saying during the season. Is look, Dallas Goedert, where he is now. I get it. He's young. Imagine where he will be 5 years from now. He'll be better than Zach Ertz, man. I strongly believe that. He'll be better than Zach Ertz.
So you get.
But listen, I love Zach Ertz. But I'm saying
this man just broke the record, bro.
Listen to me. When you hear Doug Peterson start talking about, I like Josh Adams. So I think we could, we got Smallwood coming back. We got Corey Clement. I like these guys. There's no sense of it. And now we know that Sproles might not come back because he hasn't made a decision yet. And when you're thinking about what we have going into next season, and every Eagles fan was looking for that big running back move, that big running back signing. So, I mean, if we could get a good running back for the likes of Zach Ertz, I'm all for it.
No, I'm
not.
You
got to tell you that.
Not for it at all.
I don't know why.
No.
So what sense? So would you rather have no running backs?
No, I would rather have no running backs. But if it comes down to stud running back or keep Zach Ertz,
so
keep Zach
take
Ertz.
The pressure off of Carson Wentz.
Zach Ertz, like he has been all year.
And look where that led us, man.
Carson Wentz getting cracked.
Exactly.
I'd much rather keep the 3 running backs we have in Zach Ertz than to trade him.
Well, listen, you guys got to think about what I talk about now. We got to think about years down the road too. 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now. Like I said, Dallas Goedert, So
you want to trade him now while the stock's high?
Exactly my point. He just came off of a record-setting season. Come on now.
And you think Dallas Goedert's gonna recreate that?
I think he's gonna be better. I see it, man. He's a little bit faster.
You sound like he's WIP calling. Listen,
he's faster than Zach Ertz. He's got good hands like him, and he can run routes. You know what I mean? And that's all Zach Ertz can do. He's just good. Like, come on now, Zach.
Have you been watching Dallas Goedert tape all week or something?
I've been watching Dallas Goedert all season, man. We don't talk about tape. Listen, Zach Ertz is he's great at what he does, but at the end of the day, he does what a tight end's supposed to do. You know what I mean? There's great tight ends.
Zach Ertz is top 2 tight end in the league. Only Travis Kelce.
There's a lot of tight ends that just can't catch like he can. You know, they're not receiving tight ends; they're more blocking tight ends. You know, but there's in the class of receiving tight ends, they're pretty much all the same.
I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah, they don't really stand out. What is that? All right, tell me one thing that Zach Ertz does that's really special. That stands out from other receiving tight ends.
Takes contact.
Takes contact.
Yeah.
Remember a couple years ago when we was all complaining.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago, and then he developed.
Yeah,
he couldn't get yards after the catch. Zach Ertz, man, he excels at
that's the new Selleck right there, man.
Zach Ertz excels at route running. He excels at catching the ball, and he excels at making the plays.
But let's say, remember when Dallas got it for his first touchdown? He juked the mess out, dude. When he went in the end zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on now.
Okay, I'm not ready to trade Zach Ertz.
So hold on.
Listen,
would the Patriots trade Gronk for a running back? Would they do that?
Let me just explain myself real quick. I'm not ready to let Zach Ertz go. That's not in my best.
Thanks for making that clear.
But yes, I'm making that clear. I love Zach Ertz. If we could keep him, we could keep him. But I'm not opposed to seeing what's out there on the table and what we could possibly get from it. Especially this running back situation that's going on right now. Especially they said that they made it clear we're going offensive line heavy in the draft.
That's fine. I'm fine with the trenches.
So hold up. What if Goddard get hurt? Then what?
I don't see Goddard get hurt. What if Ertz gets hurt?
Then Goddard's there.
That's what I'm saying. Right. That's right. That's why you have one or the other, and you can even do some two tight end sets.
Draft another tight end because Zach Ertz is just in every draft. Yeah.
You got like 5 running backs.
But we have Dallas Goddard as long as we have him. Like, you know what I mean? So right now you're talking like Dallas Goddard really ain't that. Like,
He's not right now.
What have you seen that shows you he's not?
Not enough playing time. Exactly. He doesn't see the field because they was putting who was the other tight end they were playing over him forever? I can't remember the dude's name, Billy or whatever his name was. I can't remember.
No, there's nobody.
No, there was literally a third tight end they were playing over him, and there really was. I'll find it. Wait till we get off there. I'll find it because now Alshon, now Deshaun Jackson's here, Aguilar, and 2 tight end sets. People are not gonna know what to defend.
Right.
It's impossible to defend all that.
So, who do you want running the ball?
We're shifting over to the running backs now.
No, I'm looking at our team as a whole. That's what I'm saying. I'm not looking at one.
So you got. So I'm saying. So like the thing
end,
I'm seeing.
Like what I'm saying is, as a team as a whole, we'll be better off minus Zach Ertz and better running back with Dallas Goddard as a team as a whole, not just the tight end position.
So you think if we give up Zach Ertz and bring a running back in here, then we're
a good running back, a good workhorse running back.
I don't think.
Are you kidding me? The team will be a lot more well-rounded than
Josh Perkins. That was his name. See that guy? That's the guy they were playing. That's the guy
they was playing.
They was playing him over Dallas Goddard, man.
That's because Sean know everything. You know what I'm saying? But that's what.
I was like O-line at the running back. We might as well at this point.
Right. But that's my thing. But here, this is my thing. Like I said, as a team as a whole, we will be better off minus a tight end, and we still have another decent tight end than to have
the fact
no
that this is even a
decent
conversation is baffling to me. That's the thing. This should have never even came up in conversation.
It shouldn't have came up in conversation, but it is.
People are saying Bill
This is
Belichick
what
calls.
people wanna
It
talk
says, "I'll give
about.
you Sonny Michel in a first round pick for Zach Ertz." They do it.
Oh my! In the first round, man, you'll be.
You driving Zach Ertz to the airport?
You'd be a damn fool if you didn't.
I'd be a damn fool then, because I'm not taking that trade at all. Zach Ertz, bro, he broke the record. He's a top 2 tight end in
What
the
round
league.
did we get Zach Ertz?
Second.
Okay, we're getting a higher pick. Come on now.
So this is horrible. So you want to use that first round pick? We're play Zach Ertz with the tight end that will take the first round pick.
No, I'm not saying that.
All right. Well, I'm not trading Zach Ertz for it. I can't believe you even want to trade the man.
I didn't say I want to. I said I'm not opposed.
Jordan
to
Howard. You traded for Jordan Howard?
No, I'm not trading for Jordan Howard. I already talked about
How
Jordan
many
Howard.
How many running backs would you trade? We did. How many running backs would you trade?
Listen,
Zach Ertz
like
for?
I said,
like name the list.
Listen, I want
name like 3.
Like I said,
3 running backs you would trade Zach Ertz for.
My thing about Zach Ertz, I do not want to let him go, but I am not opposed to seeing what's out there if there was an offer on the table. Like I said, it would have to be a big household name, workhorse running back, someone that's known to get 1,000 yards a year. You know, it has to be somebody like that. Not no scrub, not no Jordan Howard, not no Tevin Coleman, not even Shane.
Oh, you would come at Tevin Coleman?
Yeah,
I like Tevin Coleman.
See, so he would trade Zach Ertz.
I wouldn't trade him for Tevin Coleman. I wouldn't trade Ertz for any running back in the league. No, not one.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying, I wouldn't be opposed, and I'm sure they're not either. They're not opposed. They're all ears.
All right.
You know, like it makes sense. It's a business at the end of the day. And then you're looking at, like I said, I get at the tight end position. Maybe Goddard's not. He's not. Obviously, he's not Zach Ertz yet, but he can be. He has potential to be. We'll be all right with a decent tight end.
You would have to put
have a
all
better
your
running
eggs
back.
into that
Because
basket.
at the end of the day, if you have a decent running back as your workhorse and can take the pressure off Carson Wentz, you don't need your tight end security blanket as much.
You would have to put
You understand what I'm saying?
all your eggs in the Dallas Goddard basket.
Listen, why do you think Carson threw it to Zach Ertz so many times?
We had this thought. He couldn't throw past 10 yards because his back was broken.
No, not even that. Because the offensive line couldn't block. Because they're dropping back in pass protection all the time because we're not running the ball enough. Offensive line has a little bit of edge when they're the ones the aggressor, the ones pushing forward. All right, they're dropping back. They're getting tired all the time. They got to catch the pressure. If we have somebody to take all those factors and take that pressure off the offensive line and the quarterback, he won't even need the tight end as much. And we got Deshaun Jackson going deep, spreading the field. You got Aguilar in the slot, and you got Alshon Jeffrey too.
So your philosophy is if we bring a running back in here that can block, then any tight end will put up.
I'm not talking about block. I'm talking about running as.
I know, just a running back that's effective at blocking and running and whatever else. Then if they do everything they're supposed to do, then in that offense, any tight end will excel.
Any tight end will excel.
Okay.
Because we won't need him as much.
Yeah, I
you know
that's just Zach Ertz.
That's the only reason why Zach Ertz got the ball.
So you think Zach Ertz's skill set isn't anything above what any other tight end gives
you? It's not special. It's not special, man. It's really not. So, you know, he was just more productive because of our situation, offense.
So he's a product of the system.
Yeah.
Okay. Alvin Kamara. I traded for Alvin.
Yeah, I traded for
Alvin. All right, Alvin Kamara is a special case, man. Alvin Kamara.
That's what I'm saying. A name like that, you know, a guy like that.
I wouldn't like jump on the trade. I'd entertain it.
That's what I'm saying. I would entertain it. Like,
let's see what we got here.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, no, like I love Zach Ertz. That's not what I was saying at all.
So that segues into the next topic of barbershop talk. How he said that these three running backs. I'm excited about Smallwood and Clement and Josh Adams, and I think everybody need to panic. So the fact that this man like he might as well just pimp slap me across the face with saying that. With baby powder and a glove, rubber glove. He might as well done the whole bit. And the glove. Yeah, he might as well done the whole bit. So this man didn't go after any running backs in free agency. He didn't Tevin Coleman, none of that. Didn't entertain any trades and hasn't made any moves. I'm at the point where I don't think Howie even values the running back position.
That's where I know.
That's where I'm at with it. So I mean, he's trying to tell everybody, like, just relax, we'll take one in the draft. So now Philly's all up in shambles, WIP's up in shambles, everybody's up in shambles. The fanatic, everybody's going nuts about how Howie doesn't have mindset. He doesn't have a plan of running back. He said whatever happens.
You know what's funny? He almost got us for a couple of years too. That mindset. None of us really cared about a running back until we saw all these teams.
I mean, once they won the Super Bowl, I said, man, we don't need no.
Everybody, for a couple of at least 5-6 years now, everybody was like, we don't need a really good running back. You know. Now we see all these products of teams with good running backs, and we don't got one. Yeah. Now we're like.
But the thing is that now the only argument that actually that benefits that is people are saying what star running back has won the Super Bowl, and you can't really argue it unless like Marshall Faulk, I guess was like the last one.
Oh man, Marshall Faulk, that was my man.
Sean says, what about beefing up the D line more with Ndamukong Suh? I think the D line's fine where it is.
I think Suh's a little old,
and I think he's a head case.
I mean, I think I'm at the point where I'm ready like for big positions like that. I'm tired. See, I'm not
Willie Jackson now. I think the D line's fine where it is.
Here's my thing. I don't know if I mentioned this before. I'm not a big free agency guy. You know, I'm more bringing in young, fresh talent that you can grow and really mold into what you're looking to get out of these. But I'd rather have that young talent. Of course, you need older guys in there, but those are more like your veterans that's been there for a while. But as far as signing a free agent that's kind of towards the end of his career for like a year campaign, I don't ever see that.
The only signing I want to see to this point is if it's not a running back, I don't want to see it. Like
exactly.
Like Andrew Sendejo as a third safety. Now he's not a bad.
Like I said, not a scrub either.
Yeah, not scrub like Keys Rogers.
So at this point, we would have to trade for running back because there's nobody left.
Isaiah Crowell's out there.
Like, I mean, I think Shady's backup got released as one, but
Shady's
we don't want Shady's backup.
I saw that on the way in here.
Yeah.
Chris Ivory.
Yeah, Chris Ivory.
Yeah, I don't want him.
I don't want him either. Yeah.
I would take Isaiah Crowell. I like him. He's not bad.
No.
I'm not saying as like a lead back.
So why are we taking him? That's my point. If he's not gonna be productive,
because he's better than what we have. He's better than what we have.
No, I'm not gonna go ahead and go that far and say that.
Isaiah Crowell's not. He's not better than Corey Clement or Adams or Smallwood. I don't even want to see Smallwood. If I have to look at another Smallwood like jersey, I'm gonna.
Listen. And actually probably Smallwood is the one out of the three that I would rather see what he's got more, just based off his.
I say Adams. Give me Adams. I'd rather take that question mark and hope something happens.
Man, I swear I can never get a sense of something. So
go ahead.
Yeah.
Smallwood.
No, but just based off of the productivity that he produced towards the end of the year last season, he was more consistent than any other back was throughout the season. I paid attention to this. For whoever got the most touches, it was more Corey Clement at the beginning of the season. He got the most touches. Then it was Josh Adams. He got more touches towards the middle, and it was Wendell Smallwood at the end. As far as when each three had their turn, Smallwood was the most consistent. So I'm actually kind of excited to see what he has. I could really care less. I like Corey Clement because he's a local guy. He was decent during the Super Bowl run. Josh Adams, he could go for all I care. I don't really care about that. But Wendell Smallwood has the most potential, I think, out of the three. I would like to see a little out of him, and he's one of the guys that's grown with us for a couple of years. So who knows? He could be another Nelly.
It's fair. Smallwood's the most proven of the three, so that's fair. It's fair, just because Clement had the.
He was making some nice cuts at the end of the season. And it was like I said, it was consistently every.
At least he was at least he was punishing up the middle.
He was really like. That's something that we haven't seen from him for a long time.
Yeah,
or CJ Anderson. For that rather.
Sean brings up CJ Anderson. He's probably the one decent guy left because at least we saw what he did with the Rams at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And he would have a chip on his shoulder because he's mad on Twitter like nobody's gonna give me a chance. All I want is a chance to play 16
Well, it
games.
depends on how we get CJ Anderson. I wouldn't.
1 year, $2 million. Bam, I'm done. Sold.
Oh, he signed? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a free agent now, right?
Yeah, he's free agent. Yeah. That wouldn't be a trade.
Right,
Rams released him. Yeah, so that's it. So he's probably the one guy that's left out there. I'll take him.
Yeah, I'll take him.
So that's probably it. So that's the last one. So last topic for the barbershop talk is that everybody's fed up with TJ McConnell. They're over it. He's done. He's getting benched for the playoffs. It's Shake Milton time. So if we have to watch TJ McConnell in the how do you feel about TJ McConnell in playoff time? If it should happen at all.
TJ who?
Right. That's all I feel. That's all I feel right about now.
What has he done?
And this is Drew's boy, so I need you to speak up a little bit, Drew.
Here we go.
You knew it was coming. I don't know why you shot.
Here we go.
All right, man. What's your take on TJ McConnell, Drew? Let's just hear you.
I don't mean, how you gonna bench him? Who's gonna play?
Shake Milton.
He gonna play point?
Yep. Or Jimmy Butler back up point.
Yep.
That's fine. Shake.
I don't know about that.
Shake Milton.
Shaking Milton.
Are you gonna let Jimmy Butler just push the point when they're all when Ben Simmons
I don't like Butler doing that either. Like,
Really?
I mean,
I think he's
okay, but I think he's okay when McConnell and Tobias is in there with him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We basing this on one game, man. He ain't have a good game when he started.
TJ's been good for a
like,
stretch now.
Yeah, even come off the bench, he's got all that.
It's been a good stretch.
Look, the whole bench is real iffy to me. I don't know about benching TJ. I really don't, because there's nobody else that I would plug in there. Shake, I don't know about that, man.
He can't be worse than what TJ's He can't be.
I mean, but TJ can.
Out there
yeah, but we don't need TJ to score per se. We need him to run the team and get him into the offense. I don't see Shake getting them into their sets. But I don't know, man. I mean, I really ain't got no answer for that. I don't see benching them because the whole bench really is suspect right now.
The bench is suspect, man. And Brandon, I give credit to Brandon because the whole time, ever since the trades, he's been suspect about the bench, and I've been trying to be confident about it. I'm like, man, I think we can get it together. We have enough pieces. They only run 9-man rotations in the playoffs. I think we'll be okay. And now it's just looking like, man, the second them starters off the court, we're just getting blasted like it's over.
Solid assassin, man. I don't talk much, but when I talk, I know what I'm talking about.
Like I think it gets to the point where we don't even need it gets to the point where we can't take all the starters out at once, but like somebody like Jimmy got to stay in there or Tobias, somebody got to stay in there, man.
Right, but that's the thing. That's coaching. That's rotations. I mean, you got 4 guys. That's basically all-stars. So you just rotate it better.
That's what I'm saying.
It's easy.
But Brett Brown does. He says before y'all done, come out. Scott, Boban, TJ,
right. He's
get
doing
in there.
Like hockey lineups. Like he's changing the whole hockey line.
Mike Scott's still serviceable though. He's still the 6th best player on the team in my opinion. Mike Scott's still
absolutely.
Decent,
and he can play multiple positions. I mean,
he can play 3-2-5.
Right, exactly.
So we got Mike. It's gonna be Mike Scott, TJ, Boban, and whoever the 4th one. Ennis. Got 9-man rotation. And then it just scares me because the Bucks got they got assassins waiting in the wings and in their bench. They got freaking Merchant's starting, but they got who I can't even think of the names. I know Gasol's there, but he's about to miss a month. And Toronto has Fred VanVleet and freaking Pascal Siakam's out here dropping 30 a game, and the player they don't even need.
I feel like we gotta play. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, I feel like you gotta play some of them vets. You know what I mean? Like Amir, because he's smart at least. He know how to play these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like
Amir's getting playoff minutes, so it's over.
Look,
it's experience over.
Right, it's too many people that they can throw at us, and if we only playing line.
Brown has to get better with matchups, man. He just gotta
get better altogether. You know what I mean?
Oh man, here comes the
seriously, man, because it's all
Brett Brown slander.
You already know he's a development. You know he's a development coach. There's nobody else to develop. Now it's time to really run. You know what I mean? Let's do it, man.
We go over this every week.
Yeah, I know. I told you guys before the podcast. I think Brett Brown, I'm growing sour on him. It's getting to that point where it's all up to the playoffs now, man. How we exit and if Brett Brown's gonna stick around or not.
Yeah, man. We just saw it early, man.
I like the dude. I just don't think he's that guy, man. So
it's been a long time, It's like he's been the same that he's been for the past 2 seasons,
I feel like he's a great assistant coach. That's why he's an assistant for so many years.
Yeah.
He was assistant for so many. I mean, but some people are just great assistants. You know what I mean? Like his lane is development.
Yeah.
So that's what he strive at. And now, like I said, ain't nobody develop. You see the weaknesses.
You know what snaps me out of that though? I listened to one Brett Brown press conference and I'm sold. I'm like, yep, he's gonna do it. He convinces me. I'll tell you that because he's.
You know what? A lot of differences too from last year is we had what's his name from the Rockets coach D'Antoni. He was running the offense last year, man.
Who?
D'Antoni. He had a lot of before he got the Rockets gig. Remember, he was an assistant here.
Oh right.
So a lot of them, you know what I mean. A lot of that offense was him because he's an offensive genius.
D'Antoni was coach last year too for Houston, wasn't he?
I don't know when he came in, but I know
he was the year Harden won MVP.
Okay.
When D'Antoni's first
but
year.
a lot of them sets you could still see D'Antoni's presence, and now it's like we running the same DHOs.
You see what D'Antoni did as soon as D'Antoni got there, James Harden started freaking averaging triple doubles. So that's how that goes. Charlie Mullen in the chat. Brett Brown is gonna choke. I don't like that negativity. I don't know if choke is the word. He's just gonna get out coached. Is what's gonna happen. He's just gonna get out coached.
Realism.
Yeah, so we'll hope for the best. We'll recap. They play Brooklyn tomorrow. Pray to God, D'Angelo Russell over.
Yo, you know what's frustrating too is like somebody like Mike Budenholzer or somebody who also came up under Pop, and you see how he coaching. He doing his thing. It's like, man, y'all was both there. Why y'all can't? You know what I mean? What's Brett missing? What did he not get on the bench all them years that these other coaches under Pop got?
What's astonishing about that is that the Bucks are number 1 in the East, and their second best player is Chris Middleton.
Right, so you can't tell me that's even better coaching than.
It is better.
You know what I mean? Like, because he ain't even got the play. Like, imagine he had the players we had, man. What?
Man, 60 wins, no problem.
Can we like trade coaches, man? Swap.
Man, it's horrible.
I wish, man.
Oh man, it's just gonna get to the point. All right, so
I got the answers.
Over under tomorrow. D'Angelo Russell 30 points. Over under. He's not scoring 30 tomorrow?
I'm giving my team.
Point guards eat us, man. Point guards tear us.
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. Embiid gonna play tomorrow.
You know why it's not gonna be tomorrow?
Because he's birthday.
Damn right.
Yeah, they gonna take it personal too. They gonna take it personal. Simmons and B, they all went to the same high school, so you know what I mean. D'Angelo, they all went to the same school, like so they gonna take it personal.
Charlie's in here raging in the chat. How can you get out coached when you have 4 All-Stars?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They're 5. Arguably one way.
Exactly.
That question sums it all right there. I think, you guys.
I just don't. It all comes.
You can't, man. Like any other coach that had our starting 5 would shine. Man.
Like, very rarely do you see Steve Kerr get out coached.
Like I said a couple weeks ago, give me Mo Cheeks back.
Steve Kerr don't got a coach.
Give me Mo Cheeks.
He got the same thing. Got 5 All-Stars. You see him doing his thing. So like, I know they ain't been together that long, but come on, coach. Gotta do better
that's
than
the thing,
that.
the chemistry. That's all I can pin it on.
Maurice.
So here's another.
Nobody heard. Nobody want Mo Cheeks.
Nah, man, I don't want Mo Cheeks.
I don't think anybody
We've been there, done
that. Colin,
nah, we've been there, done that.
Middle of the pack for too long.
Yeah.
Right.
I think so. Another argument I was seeing is that everybody was saying like, how can't they be better than the Bucks and all this? But this lineup, when they start, before the last 2 games, they were 7-1 after the Boston game when the lineup plays together. Yeah. So it's just a matter of the last 2 games. I don't know if you want to count them because I don't know if the effort's there or not. So we gotta. It's a whole thing. The end of the season, we'll have to really be adhere to that because I don't know if the effort at the end of the season because they know they're pretty much locked into that 3rd seed. They can't go anywhere. They're not going to catch Toronto, and it would take a lot for us to fall down to where Indiana is.
You know what else too? When did Ben get sick last game? Because like he was all on Instagram posting all crazy, and then game time coming, he not playing. I'm like, this dude is.
He shook hands with a child.
He fine all day long.
Got sick.
When? Even like they was interviewing JJ, and he was all in the background like photobombing JJ. I'm like, when does he look fine to me? What's going on? I mean, I know he only missed 3 games ever, so I'm sure he was. It's legit. I'm just trying to understand when because following him, he looked fine.
Which kids, germs, all that stuff.
That's terrible.
Right, man.
We gonna wrap up these basketball points. We do have a few baseball points before opening day. So we have Bryce Harper hit those 2 home runs in that game. As Bryce Harper is gonna really like this this team up. It's gonna be a good baseball time. I gotta find my notes here because I have some baseball notes here because I see we got some baseball fans and they're pretty excited that we're actually talking baseball now. So it's good now. So I have
20 hours.
Yeah, 20 hours. So the thing. So we have some what to expect next season. So the Phillies have had 6 straight losing seasons without the postseason. The drought ends this season.
I'll see.
If they don't make the playoffs, this is it's a failure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk.
Bryce Harper, bro, top 5 player in MLB. There's no way we don't go.
Yeah, but I don't know. Some people are better on different teams.
Sean Cowley, Harper and Hoskins combining for 90 homers. I don't doubt it. They both hit 34 each last year. I think that goes up in a ballpark friendly park like Citizens Bank Park. Yeah, they were ranked. I have the stats on this, but they were.
See, man, I see.
Citizens Bank Park was ranked 12th.
Man's practicing his handwriting too.
It looks good, right? But you know what? I slowed down. I took my time because I'd be going back and trying to read it, and I'm like, wow, I don't even know what's going on right now.
We can't read it all right, man.
So as far as Citizens Bank Park is ranked as the 12th ranked hitter park. So that's going to be good for Bryce Harper, and I expect Romuto to actually hit more homers this year because the Marlins park he was in 29th. It was the 29th ranked hitters park in that, so he's going to actually go up from that. Romuto should hover around the 20 homers. I think last year he had 30. No. Oh, 37 since he's been there. So, and he threw out 38% of runners attempting to steal last year. So Realmuto, best catcher in the league, he's going to throw out a lot of people trying to steal. He don't let people steal on him. You don't want that happen.
We'll see, man.
How do you feel about the Phillies? You a little lackluster over there.
No, I mean, I just like I don't want to pre-predict something when I didn't see the finished product yet. You know, I get it. Bryce Harper's is big. You know, he's a great guy. You know, he's a great player. But I just want to see a couple real actual games before. You know, all I need is maybe 2 games. You know.
Right.
Just see something, you know, how they jump, like, you know, how everybody works. Because at the end of the day, yeah, it's more individual talent when it comes to baseball, but it's still a team, you know, team sport as well, too. So you never know. It could be.
What's the vibe you get from Bryce Harper?
I like him.
Yeah,
Philly guy.
I think he's a Philly guy. Yeah. Sean says in the chat, as much as I like Mike Trout, Harper has an attitude, personality, and swagger for Philly.
Exactly. Mike
Trout got paid, boy, $430 million.
Yo, where he from?
He's in Anaheim.
No.
Oh, Mike Trout?
No, Bryce Harper. Ain't he from here?
Bryce Harper, he grew up I don't think around here. That was Mike Trout that's from around here.
No, I know Mike Trout is, but
that's well documented.
Because he said, Bryce said something about coming home. It felt good. I'm like, coming home? Where are you from?
I don't think he's from here.
I ain't think so either.
I don't think he's from here.
I don't know why I want to say like Oklahoma or something like
that. I think it's DC.
Right,
Jake Arrieta's having a huge bounce back year now that he actually has run support. Harper's from Vegas, Sean Cowling says.
Harper's from Vegas.
Why would he say come home then? That was strange.
I don't know.
Okay.
Got the teams mixed up. So yeah, Jake Arrieta. Hopefully the pitching. Now we just have to focus on the pitching. Aaron Nola is the one ace we have. I hear a lot of Jake Arrieta should be better this year. So we hope for that. So now we can rest in peace to Mike Trout to Philly. That's never happening. Everybody thought he was coming in 2 years. He signed that $430 million, 12 years. He said he spoke with Bryce Harper and Machado as far as how free agency went. And he said it raised red flags for him. He didn't want to go through the same stuff they went through. He wanted to stay in Anaheim. Can't blame him. The dude's getting dang near $500 million to play a sport that never played in inclement weather, ever. And you don't have to exert any bodily contact whatsoever. $430 million these people get. So that's nice, man. So I think the Phillies should amount to 88, 90 wins this year. We hope that they can. It's been a long time since we had October baseball in this town. We're not big baseball guys, but I remember how fever pitch it was in October that World Series year, and this could become a baseball town real quick. So I know it's for me it's Eagles. I think it's Eagles 1A, Sixers 1B, and then it's Phillies 2. But we'll probably hit arguments for that. And then Flyers is somewhere in the mix. I know there's a lot of people out there about Flyers. We'll have to get some Flyers. We'll have to get some people in here that's on Flyers. People can't boo Trout either. I can't blame him. The Angels drafted him and gave him his start, so he wants to stay there. Yeah, it makes sense. You don't bite the hand that feeds you.
He seems like a SoCal guy, you know. It's right up his alley.
You don't got no facial hair, so.
Right.
That's how that goes. But we'll wrap up this podcast. Oh, so we do have the contest. I don't know if you saw it for the Bryce Harper shirt. We got that. Yeah. So we have the contest. All you gotta do is share the page, subscribe on the podcast, rate us 5 stars, and leave us a review on iTunes, and your name will be entered into the draft. Your names will be entered into the contest. We'll pick you. Can't even get it out, man. If you want to win, listen. If you want to win a Bryce Harper shirt, all you gotta do is go on iTunes, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, leave a review, and we'll pick 2 names that'll win Bryce Harper jerseys just in time for opening day. Opening day's tomorrow, but just in time for opening week. We'll give you that. Yeah. And so you can go to our website, phillyspecialpodcast.com, to keep up on all the content we have there, articles, we got the apparel, we got the recent episodes. You can like us subscribe to us on, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Podbean, YouTube, the whole bit, Facebook Live. This is the only Philly sports podcast you should be listening to. If you're listening to other ones, that's what they sound like on other podcasts. That's what they have to sound like. That's what made me start a podcast. I said we could do that, man. Like we could go on there and talk sports. They're not even talking about nothing. Yeah. So, but we appreciate all the support, guys. We just hit over 1,000 listeners, and we wouldn't be anywhere near that without you guys. So we appreciate it. Buy the tuxedos we talk about in the beginning. They're actually probably decent.
Yeah.
So do let's see what he did with the jacket.
Yo, this man.
Oh man. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Philly Special Podcast. Like us on Twitter, or follow us on Twitter at the Philly Pod. Instagram, Philly Special Podcast. Personal Twitter accounts, VGW3_. Brandon?
_ KBL6.
You got birthday on the mind, and Mucinex. Whatever's going on. Great show, fellas, in the comments. Thanks, homie. Thanks, homie. Oh, James is joining. Wait, before we go, James, I see you in the chat. James, I don't know how y'all think Jason Witten coming back is going to help y'all. He's a Cowboys fan in the chat. We got to grind him up real quick. Jason Witten is going to be horrible.
And he hissed me.
if you think Allen Hurns is going to do something this year after that for you, Amari single-handedly saved y'all season last year. I don't think that's happening again this year. Ezekiel, I'm raging right now. You got Dakota Prescott as y'all quarterback. Dakota Rain Prescott, that's his whole name. Yeah.
I don't care what his whole name is.
Y'all suck. It's a race for 1 and 2.
It's Dakota, man.
Yeah. Thanks for the support. Thanks for watching, though. He's a good Sixers fan, though. Good dude. So Sixers, we'll link up at about. This is James right here. He's a Sixers fan in Dallas. I think he's a Sixers fan. Sweep? What's he sweeping for?
He's a Cowboys fan?
He's a Cowboys fan. He swept us last year. He's saying the Cowboys swept us last year. That's fine.
I mean, they did.
Yeah, that's fine. But they got to dust off their rings.
They did it well, too. I mean, I can't lie.
I can lie.
Why would you lie?
Because they got to dust off their rings from like 1995. Sound like what, Cowboys fan?
No.
He is a Sixers fan, though.
No,
go ahead, say it. What I sound like? Nah, we already on the record, so go ahead.
Off there.
It ain't off there. Say it now.
Just listeners.
Rings got some comments. Alright, we're getting off on that. Thanks for the support, guys. Until the next really special podcast. Peace. That was starting wild.
I was going to say something. Oh! Wait, what's Mike's little?
He cuts it out. He edits it out.
Sounds like there's listeners.
He said, I could lie. Oh, there's listeners? We got listening ears everywhere.
Like, there's listeners. They can hear us. Oh, man. Oh, my nose.
Those people just joining at the end?
Yeah, they called it at the end again. We should have had that all. We had 26 comments. People were really watching it.
People called in?
Nah, they was in the comments. What it should have been is that I was trying, in the middle podcast, I was trying to share it to the pages that we all a part of, so I can put it in all those groups and everybody can join on that. But I think if I didn't do it right away, it wouldn't let me, so maybe I should. I don't know. I gotta figure out how to do that. I should have a different device with me so I can share it.
Oh, you ain't bring the laptop?
I had the Chromebook, but I thought I'd be able to share it right from the screen. Watching Seinfeld?
I'm watching the game, man. A commercial. It's a double header. What you talking about?
Who's playing?
I'm playing right now. Thunder and Pacers.
I got Jeremy Grant.
You got all X6ers.
Yeah, man.
You could have a whole squad with X6ers. They probably beat this squad.
Oh, man, my nose.
How long was that one? Because I usually go by the video thing, the video cam, to tell how far we are, and I didn't have that. So
We started at 9:02.
About 45 minutes.
45.
Because even when like I got the music already ready, I kind of stop at 45 and then have a just in case.
I gotta get that jingle from Bob Shop. That we do.
Yeah, that's how I was. Oh, cause I didn't know we were starting a barbershop talk today, because I was thinking like, well, not because we're doing it live, so I guess if we recorded, then we're gonna.
Yeah, because I want. So I think so. In the future ones, you'll be able to play in the background, right?
Yeah.
When we start
Like teams? Yeah.
Yeah, so you can play
All right,
in the
that's
background.
what I was confused. I was confused.
Yeah, no.
Hold on.
You don't want to blast the walls off the place.
Yeah, I mean, I got all the sound effects and stuff. I just put them in later.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. He's the most proven commodity.
Yeah. But still, it's not
It's just that he's that it. Like,
That's right, that's
we
it.
know what he is, though. That's the problem.
But I don't know. Hey, man. Because he was something for what, like 2 years? And he showed something more last year. So you don't know, man. Could have gone together by now. That's all I want to see.
Epiphany, he wakes up.
That's what I'm saying. I want to at least see something from him. Like, I could carry my other two, but if we see something from him, it'd be good. And I did say, Garrett Sproles, he was no Sproles coming back.
Is he?
They don't know.
Oh, they don't know. Yeah, so
yeah. He asked about it. He was like, "Well, we would love to have Sproles back. I can't speak for him though. You know, he has to give him his time to make a decision. So
get it together.
Yeah, ain't no damn way you talk to his agent. He's like, "Oh, he's shopping around." Damn, Sproles. I thought you were gonna retire Eagle. You think he's gonna go back to the Saints?
No, so if we don't bring back Sproles, he's not gonna be signed with no one else for a year. There's no point in it.
Or if anyone else, it would be the Saints.
Yeah, that's what I forgot.
Chargers.
Not gonna be the Chargers, man. Ain't even San Diego, man. Yeah. Alright. Get this night started. Man, I don't even feel like doing nothing. I just want to take some NyQuil and go to sleep. But you know what? It's tough for them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We in there Saturday, wherever you go. I'll leave with y'all wherever y'all go. You probably gonna take the train.
Huh?
Y'all gonna take the train and then drive. You going to Lindenwood?